She struck me, a sharp, open-handed blow that echoed louder than the clinking glasses around us. Everything stopped. The birthday dinner she had meticulously planned, surrounded by her friends, her family, and me, standing there with a burning cheek, exposed under the soft glow of the chandelier. I didn't argue, didn't flinch. I simply adjusted my jacket, rose from my seat, and walked out. No bag, no dramatic speech. No farewell. I disappeared. 5 years ago, I thought I knew who Elaine truly was. Clever, self-assured, magnetic, the kind of woman who drew attention effortlessly. I adored her the way a shipwrecked man clings to driftwood in a storm. She once told me I was her anchor in the chaos. And I believed it. Together, we built dreams from scratch. We stayed up late, sketching out plans for her boutique. I poured everything into it, even liquidated my inheritance to get it off the ground. No prenup. I thought love made legal safety nets unnecessary. I was wrong. That slap wasn't spontaneous. It was deliberate, staged, performed for the crowd like the final scene in a play she'd written in secret. Later, I learned it was her way of ending our story. Not with conversation, but with public humiliation. Afterward came the rumors. I wasn't there to defend myself. She told anyone who'd listened that I had cheated, drained her savings, even raised a hand against her. Lies, all of them. That night, I slept in a rented car. By morning, I moved what little remained of my funds into a new offshore account under a shell corporation I had quietly formed a year prior. Then I vanished, a ghost with a new name and a severed past. I didn't fall apart. I focused. The truth unraveled over 3 long, miserable months. Only one person, Mike, a mutual friend, suspected her tale was false. He sent photos. Elaine wrapped in the arms of her silent investor, also her lawyer, and her lover. She'd begun draining our shared finances months before that birthday dinner, quietly transferring everything into accounts under her name. The slap hadn't been vengeance. It was her curtain call. Mine would come later. That first year was brutal. But pain, if handled carefully, can become discipline. I took under-the-table jobs using aliases, waiting tables, scrubbing floors, absorbing everything I could. I learned corporate law, taught myself forensic accounting, built contacts as I moved from city to city. By year 2, I bought a small cybersecurity firm under an assumed identity. I scaled it up, sold it, invested in startups, acquired distressed assets, flipped companies for profit. By year 4, I was quietly funding a chain of real estate operations stretching across the country. Then came year 5 and the invitation. Private wealth society, elite members retreat, held at the historic Fairfield estate, back in my hometown. I almost laughed. Of course she'd be there. That kind of crowd, dripping with old money, new egos, and glittering masks, was her playground. I RSVP'd. The moment my plane touched down, my phone buzzed with news alerts. Ella Beaumont, one a rising fashion mogul and socialite, now bankrupt, under investigation. Her boutique empire shuttered. Assets frozen. Offshore accounts exposed. Traced back to shell companies. The driver glanced at me. Rough week for Mrs. Beaumont, huh? I smiled. Couldn't have happened to a nicer person. She didn't recognize me at first. The beard, the custom Italian suit, the name change, they all helped. But the eyes betrayed me. I saw the moment it hit her. Her face drained of color. We were seated across from each other at the estate's long dining table. A poetic reversal. 5 years ago, I stood humiliated under chandeliers. Now, I sat in the seat of honor. Luca Brandt, the host, raised his glass. To Luca Brandt, tech investor, silent force behind some of the biggest moves in modern business. The man who bought half of Taze Group in a single weekend. Taze Group, the holding company that quietly acquired the parent company of Elaine's boutique 2 years ago. She lost everything and never saw the blade that cut her. After dinner, she found me alone. It's you. You did this, she stammered, ghost-like. I leaned in, calm. You broke me. Tears welled in her eyes. We could have fixed things. I stepped closer, slid a thin folder into her trembling hands. Inside, Court filings, financial trails, forensic breakdowns. Every document legally obtained, each detail pointing to her. Loans, fake transfers, forged records, all bearing her signature. You signed every deal, every loan. I just made sure someone was watching when you did. She whispered, broken, "Why?" I looked her in the eye. "Because you didn't just lie. You tore me apart in front of everyone I loved. You took my name, my money, my dignity. This was balance." 2 days later, the story went public. Every outlet ran it. Her designer allies abandoned her. Sponsors vanished. Her world, built on image and applause, crumbled under the weight of disgrace. That night, I walked the streets of my old town. Cold wind tugged at my coat. No crowds, no celebrations. Just quiet, just peace. Some wounds never fully disappear. I still see the imprint of her hand, sometimes when I close my eyes. But now it doesn't burn. It reminds me of who I became. The man who waits. The one who learns. The one you never see until it's too late. Because revenge doesn't shout. It signs a contract. It closes a deal. It wears a calm smile. And it buys your collapse one quiet piece at a time.